So I'm sure in the newsletter that you found out about Boost, there was the link to the website as well. But if you did not have that, check out boost.product.band. That will lead you to the website, which will have all the details that you need. But before we actually move into the details of the overall program, I wanted to take a second and talk about how we at Boost think about the product management process, skills, and career. And this is exactly how our overall course curriculum and the roadmap is structured. So we start our product management process at the very center. We wholeheartedly believe that customer development, customer understanding is at the center of any good product manager, any good product process. If you get that wrong, you will not be able to get anything else right after that. So that's why we start with that in Unit 2 and highly emphasize that to our students and to our professionals that you need to understand the customer and the customer's problem really, really well. After we have that with our students, we encourage them to think about an MVP or a minimal viable product, which effectively has them test out their ideas and their problems, and come up with solutions and figure out a problem solution fit. We want to make sure that they are able to come up with a very lean process to test out the solution that they have come up with the exact audience such that they can get validation on the solution that they have come out with this time, whether that is a good fit or not. Once it go through that, then we get into more of institutionalizing of the product that they have conceptualized. And that's where product development, customer adoption, and product viability comes up. Product development is the process within the company, within the organization that you're working with. What are some of those core product management processes that you should be aware of? Customer adoption is how do you work with marketing, sales, and distribution side of the organization to make sure that you can get customer adoption in volume. And product viability is around the business aspects, making sure that you can understand different revenue models with different pricing models, risk management strategies that you would need within an organization. After we're done with the core product management process, we jump into the core skills that are needed to succeed as a product manager. So agile principles, a very popular methodology, commonly used amongst a lot of tech companies. We will go through that so you understand how agile is conducted at companies. We also want you to understand technology, design, and data a little bit before you enter that field. You may or may not have any technology or startup or design background, which is okay, but we teach you the core skills to get you there. And then after we go through the skills, we want to make sure that all of you who are looking to jump into a new career in product management, you know how to start your job search, how to be more effective at it, how do you effectively hack it, and then go through interview process. And we guide you through different different types of interviews and strategies on how you can prepare and answer the interviews such that the interviewer is going to be happy with your performance. And this encompasses the overall course and our overall mental model of product management, which starts with the core process, then moves on to the skills, and then finishes off with a career. This, once again, is a roadmap that you have seen and something that I just went over at a very high level. What we will be doing at the end of this is sending all the participants that are here right now an overview of the overall program roadmap. So you have this with you, so we can understand and make sure that all of your questions are answered. Seems like there's a question here. I just want to make sure that gets answered. Or actually, I'll take the question in about 2 minutes. So Um, Before we move into here, I want to make sure that folks that have attended who are over here get an idea of what exactly the program structure looks like. So effectively, the way we at Boost offer this, it is an accelerated program. It is a 4-week program. So effectively, beginning of November, we will start our next cohort. And by the end of November, you'll be certified as a product manager, and you'll be ready with the skills, with the process, and with the mindset to master the interview by the end of November. We want to make sure we enhance your knowledge and become interview ready. And the overall flow, the workflow that you saw for the product process, we want to make sure that you are able to familiarize yourself with the product system, which will enable you to be successful in your career. The format I mentioned very briefly, that it is a interactive live session. I will be the lead instructor. There will be lots of Q&As that will be happening. As part of that overall program, there will be a 3-part project that all the students will have to conduct, which will enable you to apply the skills that are going to be over there. And you get feedback on the project from both the instructor and your peers. So you will have plenty of ways to improve the work that you are doing and to gain feedback on anything that is happening. Throughout the entire course, what we want to do is make sure that everything that we speak about is not in theory. We want to make sure you can contextualize that knowledge. So we will make sure we provide you with some of the best examples from the industry so you understand how product managers at top technology companies think about problems that they're facing. And we also want to make sure that you get to hear from some guest speakers and industry experts about their experience. In the previous one of the previous cohorts, we had a recruiter who had done a lot of work with Google come in and talk about how do you actually go and apply successfully at Google and what she would look at while she was at Google for product manager roles. Pricing information is on the right side as well. So pricing, obviously, if you are here, you know from some of the other boot camps that they offer, our pricing that we offer is very fair. Many students from the past have selected us because this was something that they were able to afford. And frankly, with the price and the experience and the skills that you're gaining from the interview and technology, data, and design standpoint, that should make you very excited about proceeding with the program that we have to offer. Any attendees from today, they will be eligible for a $100 discount. So we will send all this information later on in the email to you, how you could get that discount going on. So just want to go through this slide before I go through the Q&A. So there are some questions that have come up in the poll. I want to make sure we get those answered. First one is around office hours. Can we set up time to get personalized help from you while in this program? Absolutely. So whether it is about the content, whether it is about the project, or whether it is about your job search, myself and other instructors, we will all be here to help you succeed as you're part of this product because this program, because we want to make sure that you are successful in the journey that you are taking on, and we are here to help you guide through that. Any more questions? Hey Krish, I'm not able to see the questions.
Okay, I can just read them. So the second question is from Hector. He says, "Hi, thanks for the details. I was wondering if there's any PM certification that you recommend and if your program covers the topics needed."
Awesome. Thank you for that question, and great question. So PM certifications, in terms of an actual thing that you can add after your name, that's not necessarily anything that we as a program necessarily recommend. I have hired many product managers in the past in my career for the companies that I work for, and although some candidates have had that, it doesn't necessarily add any crazy value. What we want to see as a hiring manager at that point is that you possess the right process, the mindset, and the skills to do the product management role well. And that is exactly what we teach over here as part of Boost. The skills, the process, and the mindset for you to succeed as a product manager. So this program was also designed looking at everything that we know as hiring managers for product manager roles at some of the top tech companies. And we want to make sure that we are educating the next generation of product managers in the way that we think will help them succeed and help the companies that they're at succeed.
Okay, there's one more question. Do you conduct mock interviews?
Great question. Thank you for that again. Yeah, so as part of the course, there will be lots of exercises where we do interviews as a group. And of course, if there are any opportunities, if this is something that you would want to do outside of class, um, on our side, from Boo's side, we're happy to have mock interviews as well.
Yeah, those were pretty much three questions. Hector says thanks for the answer.
Great. If there's any more questions, feel free to type them. Happy to spend the next 5-10 minutes answering any more questions. But that effectively takes us to the end of this deck. And I think I've mentioned this a few times already. By the end of the 4 weeks, within a month, we want to make sure that you have the mindset, the experience, and the readiness to be a product manager at a top tech company and be successful in the role that you end up taking on. And I'll actually leave it on this slide if you want to get information. Awesome. So yeah, no more questions that seem to be coming in.
Yeah, there's one. Will these details be sent? Yeah, so yeah, you'll get all these details sent to you in an email shortly after this event is over.
Great. So hopefully we were able to answer some of your questions. You enjoyed the sample lecture that we had over here. It's like the last class that we were able to have on this. They had a lot of fun going through the material. The class was very interactive and they learned a lot from each other from the discussions. So fantastic way to really get started on your product management journey. So that was a sample lecture. Obviously, when we are in class, we'll go in much more detail and have a lot more of open conversations and open discussions about any examples that you want to hear more about. Another thing that we try to do on our end is make sure that the class sizes are small enough such that the discussions are productive and everybody feels welcome and open to have conversations in the class. So that's one thing that we aim to do as well, which certainly contributes into the overall student experience that we set up on our side. So if there aren't any more questions, then I thank you. Our team thanks you for being here, spending this Friday evening with us. You will receive all the information that we just spoke about during this session in your email in a little bit. And we certainly hope to see you at our next cohort of product management class. Thank you.